That's
why you
see,
get-
it's just nuts, isn't it? It's just.
Okay,
Gets
so,
started off an abstract.
all right, it looks like we're,
A good way to stimulate local economy. Gig workers.
okay, it looks like we are now active.
I didn't know we recorded these.
We do, we post them on YouTube. For
Marketing
for the
stuff.
5 people that watch them. All righty, let me share the screen here for all of our,
We end up looking at the screen when we can look at ourselves.
okay, Nicholasburg. Okay. Yeah, okay, so what we have here this evening is a conditional use permit and site architectural review to allow conversion of a single family residence. McGlinchey. So McGlinchey had originally a long time ago been have a residential neighborhood that over the last several decades is converted to industrial uses. So there are still a handful of these old homes out there. So this would formalize use of that residence to commercial industrial use. The site plan here shows demolition of the existing detached garage or attached garage rather, and creation of a new driveway that would connect out to the what currently is effectively a backyard. That would now be a new parking lot. And it shows standard commercial stalls, including an accessible stall and 4 motorcycle parking spaces that are counted as a single vehicle space. And then you also have a new storage and trash enclosure building that is shown in that corner here. This project is actually the first to deploy the new reduced setback requirements for the M1 zoning district. Those are 2 of you probably recall, we did bring an ordinance amendment to the Planning Commission and City Council that took that down to 5 feet flat, and then also allowed a case-by-case determination to allow the setback effectively down to 0. So with this, we have a 0 side setback and then a 1.5 foot setback at the rear, as shown here. And these are just industrial properties, so there's no adjacency impacts. In terms of the architectural design, that's the house as it exists today, and then you would see the garage removed and the alteration to the front, a more pronounced entry with entry ramp, and then just a purpose-built storage building looking at the back. Buildings obviously behind the house and away from the street, so there's no visibility issues. Staff recommends approval as it's presented. If you have any questions.
Thank you.
No, I looked at it, and you know, one of you, are you the owners?
Architect and owner.
Okay, no offense, but anything you do to this will make it better. I think it's like you got some landscaping there going.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I went over there and took a look at it. It's like, yeah.
My office was across the street in Clickaway's building.
Oh, really?
20 years.
Yeah.
And I looked at this house for 20 years and thought, oh, that was a nice little office space.
Okay.
Then when it came up for sale, I thought, well, I'm gonna jump.
All right. So,
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
No.
no, anything would be.
Oh, yeah,
but,
no, we-
I mean, it's really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we planned to kind of, the stucco's all shot. We're gonna probably re-stucco it, but
Right.
tearing the garage down.
so may I ask what you're going to use it for?
We have a construction company.
Okay, so it's going to be,
Construction, it's perfect for an office and
All right.
got some on-site storage and parking and
Yeah. Right.
equipment in the,
And you're removing what was the garage to be able to have
we
access.
just need more
Right,
driveway.
sure.
Yeah, the garage is great, but the storage building is better. In construction business, when things are busy, like right now, we don't have a thing
Yeah,
stored anywhere. But when jobs finish up, we need gang box
Sure.
storage and just places to put stuff, waiting for the next job to start. This is ideal.
yeah, I mean, it meets the staff's requirements, and I saw nothing that I had any problems with. It's like, I figured out the setback thing. With a little asterisk in there, so I actually read it.
Footnotes.
So, and I noticed that it just backs up to some more industrial, like driveways.
All the way around.
All the way around.
Yeah, we don't have a residential
There's
property.
there's no issue at all there, so. I see no issues with it.
This isn't the planning commission meeting?
But we're planning commissioners. This is the architectural review.
Design review.
And so then it goes to planning commission and we just there's a report recommendation that Daniel puts in
Okay, so there's another.
the agenda that says
A whole planning
it
board.
was covered by the SARC, and they, if we had some recommendations, changes, that would be different, then they would have discussed whether or not you want to consider those. Otherwise, we will just say we're agreeable to the
To the design.
design as it is, yeah.
Okay. Well,
And then it'll go to the planning commission.
okay.
I think it's a smoother process and I wish other cities would do something like this.
Yeah.
Too. It's,
Yeah,
I really
simplifies the
appreciate it.
process for you because they
But
just
just-
have to
It just
redesign.
smooths it'll, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't, as I have a little saying, because when I was a little kid, that's when I used to love surprises.
Yeah, but avoid surprises, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is that.
Adult
Get rid of
surprises,
Yeah.
Not
That's
so
attractive. Yeah, no, this is,
So you had no issues at all.
Stuart, any concerns?
I didn't quite follow that setback, the new setback, what was the,
So normally you would actually need to maintain a still 5-foot setback at that side. But just coincidentally, for a different applicant who's heard have a need to have a little more flexibility, we actually adopted an ordinance that
Oh.
allows that setback.
oh,
So
okay.
by happenstance, you're the first one out of the gate who's using it.
So the industrial buildings can be right
Right,
Not
yeah,
against-
zero lot,
right,
yeah, no, in
right.
fact, the building that we're backing up to there with that little storage building, he's right on the property line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He did it a long time ago, I think,
Yeah.
it's been there forever.
well, for between the last 2 months ago and from 20 years before then, you actually couldn't do that.
Okay, so there was a gap when,
Correct.
I got you,
So we brought that back.
yeah, all right, yeah, that makes,
Have a failed
yeah,
experiment.
no, it's like, space is valuable. and it's-
Exactly. You just end up with a bunch of weird weeds back there. anyway.
well, you're taking away homeless campgrounds, but it's okay.
Yeah, there's a downside.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're done?
That's it.
Okay.
All right,
I
excellent.
had a couple.
Oh,
of
sure.
questions on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, no worries. Yeah, great. About 20% of the overall area which has been dedicated to landscaping, which is really nice to see. At the front, there, I saw on here, there was an alder tree, a 21-inch alder tree and.
It's a fruitless mulberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Isn't
a,
that what it says?
It says, on one it says 21-inch alder,
Oh, yeah, the surveyor,
and it said a mulberry on the sheet down, and it said it was gonna keep it. I didn't know whether there was 2 trees there or.
good question.
one tree.
One tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you saw it on the surveyor's plan. He called it differently from what it really
Yeah.
is. And normally a surveyor isn't an arborist, but he thought he was, I guess. So that's the plan that you saw for the survey plan.
That's gonna stay anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna stay anyway, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably gonna tree.
yeah, no trees coming out. We're just,
Yeah, I'm familiar with fruitless mulberry trees. I used to be somewhere where we had a couple. It was a murder to keep trimming them.
Very quickly. don't
Yeah.
they?
The shoots come out like 30 feet long every year.
Yeah.
You know,
You're supposed to cut them right back.
you gotta come right back to the nub, just like it shows in the picture.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. And the only other question was, does it have a bicycle rack somewhere? Plans at the back for people to bikes? They got motorbike spaces, but like a bike ring.
not formally called out on this plan. I think we have to do something like that. There. Just, yeah, I think the building code's gonna require that.
Yeah, that would be great if we could.
And,
In the front or the back, or does it matter?
well, I don't even think,
Wherever you
I
want.
don't, yeah, wherever you
Okay,
want,
wherever you-
really.
Okay, yeah,
I mean, we could even call it out inside of the, the storage building, I think is,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
So employees feel more secure.
yeah,
yeah, exactly. And you have the storage in the back of the, in the back of the
Yeah.
offices too, so.
Yeah, having had.
And then
quite a
having,
few bikes.
bottle, there's bottle filling stations, but there's a kitchen here that'll be accessible, so.
Okay.
And there's a bathroom for showers. If you're biking to work,
oh,
this is all the building code stuff.
we need a shower?
Well, if you're supplying bikes and people are, I think you have to have that option.
It depends if, I don't think this is being classified as a new building. Well, actually it might be, because that's why.
Yeah, new use makes it a new building, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
But fire departments require sprinklers.
yeah.
It will require sprinklers.
Probably,
Who makes that determination?
That'll be.
Fire-
Fire department,
Yeah.
okay.
fire department. And weren't they sent a set?
I believe they did indicate that they did require sprinklers.
Yeah, you were,
That the
yeah,
conversion
that's right.
constituted a new building
yeah.
for that purpose.
Yeah, can you use that plastic pipe for?
Well, it's commercial, so it can't be it has to be 13D, 13, not 13D.
I'm not familiar with.
It's NFPA and NFPA.
It's not steel or it is steel?
No, I think you can do plastics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But a different grade of plastic because it's
Yeah,
not. Because it's
exactly,
Got
yeah.
it. Okay. It just simplifies. It's a small building. It shouldn't be that tough.
No, I don't know, $3 a square foot, or is it more? Probably, who knows, these days prices are at it.
Yeah.
We're
When you get-
framing
when you get the
contractors. We
work.
can do sprinklers.
Do we know if Stuart's suggestion, do we know if they have to put in a bike rack, and if they put in a bike rack, they have to have a shower? Do we understand?
I would need to double check that with our building official. I was under understanding that would not be the case because it's not a newly constructed building, but I can check with them.
Yeah, sometimes the use permit, as I understand it, that's this trigger that flops it over. Even if you were just to readapt a building for a different use, I think it.
It's also
triggers.
there has to be a threshold.
Well, I was gonna ask about that, whether on the size of the building or number of occupants. or-
Then they have the rule of the 20% rule, that if you spend on your building greater than, if your budget, there's an amount which is probably about $185,000 right now here in the city. And if you have to spend, when you move into a building and you're doing any work at all, you have to spend 20% of that 180 to upgrade. But once you reach, if your budget, which I'm pretty sure on this, it will be over that, I think, even with your discount, but we'll get together on that. It has to be fully accessible.
Which it is, I believe, right? I mean, you have the accessible
Yeah.
stall, the van accessible stall, plus the path.
The ramp
plus the
in, and
The
then,
threshold level now.
yeah, and your the kitchen, all the count, all that stuff.
I think we can also just permit it, I'll put it as a condition when it comes up with the commission. Whether it's fine or not, as we can answer that.
Yeah, and that usually, that's, we're not gonna get through the building department without them checking all that
Yeah.
stuff too.
Part of the California Green Building.
Yeah. And that too.
Okay.
So,
Good.
Yeah, apart from that, everything's horrible.
So how many people are planning?
7.
Oh, there's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that next meeting, we'll actually be on the other side in
Yeah.
the city council chambers.
How far away is that then? Is it-
That's 1 month.
24th, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, it's already scheduled.
Yeah.
23rd,
Okay.
23rd.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And we do kind of preliminary scheduling. I mean, these meetings, if it becomes complicated, it provides us a little more time to
Yeah,
kind of
no,
review the situation, but otherwise, yeah. The
Yep.
23rd, so that'll be at 7:30 p.m.
And we're agenda item number 1, right?
I believe at this point, you're the only agenda item.
Okay, good.
All right.
Right.
We'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, just go up, introduce yourself and just make yourself available for questions. That's really about it. I'll provide a presentation, a little PowerPoint, and there'll be some general discussion.
Okay, yeah. Did you say we're gonna approve the property?
Exactly. That's what the general plan's been calling for.
Yeah, all right. Very good. All right.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Good.
That was
Okay.
easy.
Have a good evening.